on this feast of Saint Mary Magdalene, we first acknowledge how God has inspired this woman's courageous journey of faith and love. The journey of faith and love to find what the heart truly desires. So in her, we see an example of how the human heart goes in search of God when it has been truly touched by Jesus. So whatever way Mary had been touched by Jesus during his ministry on earth before the incident in today's gospel, it certainly had a deep impression on her. Her love for him was felt on the emotional and psychological level, yes. But she wept while staying outside his tomb early in the morning of the day of resurrection. And so this love for Jesus that she had was much deeper than just something on a natural human level. It was a love that touched her at the very deepest part of her being. It propelled her to go to his tomb on the third day after he was crucified on the cross. And ultimately, it was a love that called her to courageously search for him, as though it had convinced her that her heart would be fulfilled if she followed those promptings within her. And so in this way, St. Mary Magdalene, I think, reflects the bride in today's first reading from the Song of Songs. The bride in this reading is somehow propelled to go in search of whom her heart loves, and eventually she finds him. In reflecting upon this search for Jesus, we also see his generosity in responding to those who sincerely search for him. The gospel tells us that Mary did not actually recognize him until he had called her by her name. And hence we see that Mary's heart was only fulfilled once Jesus had decided to reveal himself to her. It was his own gift to her, which is what he decided to do for her own benefit. Otherwise, she would not have realized his presence beside her. And in doing so, Jesus entrusts Mary with this great responsibility of proclaiming his resurrection, firstly to his disciples, but also to the rest of the world. And so as we celebrate today the feast of St. Mary Magdalene, we are encouraged, I think, to follow her example of truly seeking Christ with all our hearts, because that's what she did. And so we ask that through her intercession, we may earnestly search for Christ in our lives and find what our heart loves. For we know that Jesus will reveal himself to those who earnestly yearn for him, just as Mary Magdalene did.